creating online surveys. Give me a thumbs up who among you here have not tried creating from the scratch an online survey using Google Form, meaning from new untitled form down to the production of visualization. Now, there are actually many, no? There are many free tools, but the most popular tool is the Google Form. There are many. Maybe you are familiar with Quick Survey, Quatrix, and many more. There are really free, But and mobile app we will be using Surveys Sparrow. So as I've mentioned, there are many. We have Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, Quick Survey, and you can even use Poll Everywhere. In the US, medyo gamit si Poll Everywhere, but most of the time this is being used in the academic setting. For Google Form, this is our outline. I'll go, the half of these are the basic. Adding questions, title, image, video, adding section, go to section-based answer, like if you have conditions in your questions, we can actually do that in Google Form. No, sometimes I get irritated when I receive a survey, and then if you are this, and then you answer that, and then may mga questions pa na hindi relevant to me because there was no condition set in the Google Form, no? Which is, alam kong hindi nagtatyaga yung gumawa ng Google Form for that. And then email collection, which is part of the data privacy thing, no? How to set privacy in our data, email collection, required sign in, and respondent viewing. For aesthetic also, it's very nice to have some confirmation, mga progress, and then how to send a link, shortening the URL at the same time a QR code. And then adding collaborators, customizing team, para naman may branding part, no? May logo ng Siliman, may logo ng School New, and add-ons like how do we know that there are responses in our email or in our form, in our survey. We can also limit, like especially if you are doing something like a quota sampling, you wanted only a randomized quota sampling for 100 responses, and then once you got the 100, automatic yung form mo hindi na siya mag-receive ng mga answers. And then, of course, how to manage responses from the Google form down to our spreadsheet, and a little bit of graphical visualization, and how to clean data from Google form to our Excel sheet ready to be processed in any statistical tool. Okay, I want you to log in to your Google Drive. Let's start from the Google Drive, no? Instead of going to the Google form. So like on my screen, you will see type Google Drive. Then I'll just go to my Google Drive. And then it's automatically here because my browser has logged in already my account. I mean, I've already logged into my account. Okay, now I hope we are all in our Google Drive, especially to those who are new to Google Form. Are we all in our Google Drive? Using your desktop, go to your Google Drive account. How to go to the Google Drive account? You can just type Google Drive, and then the Google Drive will be on the top, and then just click on it. If you have not signed in, you can sign in using your Google account. Like in my case, I have it here. Okay. Now, if you have a very clean, thing in your Google, you will not see the same, no? It might be white space in your front or in your Google Drive, but perhaps because of the online thing right now, there are a lot of information being stored or content being stored into your Google Drive. Are we all in the Google Drive? Now, I want you to click New, which is found at the upper right or left part of your screen. You will see plus sign there, and then the New. plus sign and then the new. You click on that new and then you look for Google Form. If you cannot find, most of the time your Google Form perhaps is on the bottom. If you cannot find Google Form, just click more and then all the apps will be there. Okay? So then you can click new. If you are, when you start from your email, so say for example, you are in your email just like this. I am in my email. You can just click here and then go to your Google form. If the Google form is here, not yet added, I think. So all you have to do here, my Google form is here. Oh, so again, once you are in your email, you can just directly go here and then click on the Google form. That's another way also. No? So you can go to your Google form. Okay, so if you are in your Google Drive, sign in here, I told you to click new and then look for Google Form. So most of the time, it will look like this. You will have a blank Google Form. Are we all in the blank Google Form? Okay, so, and then once we are all here, just notice that we have questions and responses. Make sure ito kasi yung two major parts ng Google Form. Kung ano yung naka-underline na part, that means that is the active view or the active environment. No? So make sure that the questions are underlined and that means you are in the active editable view of your Google form. Okay? Then what else? Another part are this one. You will see untitled. This is actually the name of our Google form here. You will see that on the upper left. No? And then you can also see this group of toolbars where the plus sign is the add question. Then we can also import question and then we can add title and description. We can add an image and we can add a video. Itong the four buttons here, these are the basics, no? These are the basic, meaning all you have to do is to just click and then add. While the last one, this is where we can categorize. This is adding a section. So let's work for that first. So the first thing that we should do is to title our survey form. Let us title our survey form. I mean, let's declare a title of our survey form. Any title will do. If you like a very unique, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog form, that's fine. But if you will say 1, 2, and 3, crash course survey activity, that is the title. Okay, that is my title. When you click here, notice that after typing and when I click my mouse here on the title, it's automatically transferred or changed. Okay? Then you can have your form description. The form description is most of the time, this is the cover page. In the research perspective, yung pinakauna talaga is yung description ng survey questionnaire natin. So for example, you will say, dear student, okay, you are invited to answer this survey. This study is about practice of Google Form. Example, yours truly, Dave Marshall, researcher. Usually we do like this, no? Okay, we do like that. Okay, from there, we can start our, let's start first with our question. Our suggestion, my suggestion when we do a survey in our research, don't open immediately Google form and then write your questions. Have it first, finalized in a piece of paper. Just like, when we are going to propose, we have our, ang kalimitan kasi sa iba, when they created their Google form, doon pa mag-iisip, no? Doon pa mag-iisip at doon magkaroon ng mali-mali because the basics of creating the survey hindi naman dapat gagawin diyan in the Google form. It should be a way. The Google form is only a tool in the data collection. Okay? So assuming I have a piece of paper now of my survey and I have this one, my first question is let's say for example, normally in our questionnaire is categorized, right? Part one, which is the demographic profile. Part two, which is let's say my study is about integration of IT in research, the level of skills. No, let's make this clear. This study is about this study measures the level of skills in relation to IT integration in the classroom. Okay, something like that. So the first question, I mean, the first part are the demographics. So perhaps in the demographics, you will say, let's try to use all of this, no? Of course, you have the name, no? And normally naman, si Google Form, meron na siyang AI na meron na siyang learning component na pag nagta-type ka ng name, nag-suggest na siya, Google will automatically suggest the type of field. So ang in data management is actually called field type, meaning ano yung category of the questions you like to ask? Anong expected value to be accepted by this particular field name? So that's short answer. Kasi most of the time, 32 spaces or text usually when we set the name. No? Pwera na lang on yung mga na-viral na name is the Department of Science in Technology. Kawawa yung baby. Sobrang haba. But most of the time, according to standard, ideal, 32 characters yung name. And that is actually under a short answer. So that's name. No? And then, after writing, you have to decide whether that is required or not. No? Di ba we notice when we filled out a survey, may asterisk, that means it's required. No, so you can actually just slide it to the right. That means you are requiring the respondent to give feedback or fill it out. Okay. Most of the time, in my case, part of the data privacy measure, you don't require the name. Okay. Next, let's try another one. Let's say for example, age. No? Age. Oh, alam din ni Google na pag age, short answer siya. But actually, pag ako age, I don't use short answer. I normally do this as a multiple choice and I have age brackets, no? Para easy for the analysis later on. Actually, it depends on your research objective. But let's just try age. Okay. Let's try age and then short answer pa rin. But this time we will require. Okay. Okay, another example, let's try to add something like, because I wanted to explore all of this. So address, okay, let's type address. So take a look. Google Form also suggests that address should be in paragraph kasi talagang mahaba na. Expected that respondents will fill out an address, and usually that is in paragraph field, long answer text. Okay, it's up to us whether you are going to require it or not. Okay, so that's the one. And what else that usually we do? Okay, let's say for example, sex. For some, you use gender, but I normally use sex, no? So that I could just get two. So sex there, I can. There are also, as I mentioned, may mga AI na rin konti si Google Form kasi may mga suggestion siya. It's either add all, meron siyang female, male, prefer not to say, and the other. So talagang alam na niya. So you can actually, if you fan of accepting the suggestion, that's fine, no? But you can always customize it. So let's try to customize because I wanted you to experience yung ikaw talaga gumawa, no? So let's just try. We will use multiple choice for the sex. So let's say for example, male. And then all you have to do is to just write female. Automatic siyang may female. And you can also add other if you like. So male, female. And we are using the field multiple choice. Okay, so we did with short answer, we have paragraph, we also have multiple choice. So ganun lang siya, ganun yung process. It's just actually a matter of how your data will look like when you process your data collection. Okay, another one. Let's try so that you can see the difference of a multiple choice and a checkbox. Kasi may iba, yung sexer, pwede ba siyang checkboxes? Okay. So, sabihin natin sex and then we will use checkbox. What is the difference between the two? The multiple choice, you expect that only one, the respondents can only choose or select one. While checkboxes, you expect that your respondents or anyone who will comply or complete your survey, they can select two or more responses. So pag sex, definitely hindi pwedeng check boxes kasi pwede niyang mapili si male and then si female. Questions like, which among the following are the digital tools you use in the classroom? Yan, pwede yan. They can check as many as they can. I hope you can see the difference between, kasi ito yung common mistake that I usually see for online survey. May mga check boxes that are not supposed to be used in data collection kasi it will affect your data analysis later on. So that's the difference between a multiple choice and a check boxes. So in my check boxes, I will say, for example, because this is demographics later on, I'll just which tools that you use in the classroom. So I will say Google Form. I can also add Mendeley. I can add MS Word. Okay. And then I will require it. So tried, short answer, long answer. This is multiple choice. And this is also check boxes. Okay, another is the drop down. Ano naman itong drop down? Si drop down, more or less, similar functionality with, not more or less, but the same functionality with multiple choice. It's just that medyo it will take time for the response. I don't normally use drop down because ang drop down kasi you still have to click before you can see the choices of the question. Kaya sinasabing drop down, no? My tip to you is don't use this, use the multiple choice para isang kita na pag mag-launch dahil sa internet connectivity na rin. Pag mag-launch, automatic the respondents can see all the choices rather than stating the question. Para you can relate what I was saying is like this. Let's click add plus sign to add a question. Say favorite color. Okay, blue and the pink. And there's no other colors in the world. Blue and pink. Okay. Okay, and then I'll require it. Okay, I'll require it. So drop down. So ang mangyayari with the drop down, again, you still parang ganito. This is actually drop down. You will not see the choices not until you will click the drop down box or drop down button, and then you will see all the choices, which you will see later on. So we tried what else? We tried short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, and then later I will, or let's just include file. O, di ba? So for those who uploaded their proof of payment, you experience this actually. So another example, when is the instance that you will get a, let's say for example, a file from Google Form. Let's say for example, we did this before in our data collection para we can assure that they are the one filling out the form. Take what is this? Take a selfie. Take a selfie and upload your selfie to the link provided. Something like that. No? Para it's actually one way of validating as an experimental study, and with all the consent and everything, they have to submit the selfie image. So kaya file yung ginagamit. Meaning the respondents can upload a file instead of just typing. No more typing because the respondent should upload the file. So how to do that? Let's say for example this one. Then you can type proof upload your proof of payment. And then you can use file upload. Okay? So there is a instruction there, will be honored, blah blah blah. Continue. Okay. And then there are conditions when you use upload file. No, in my case, I always set condition to this para again filtered na yung document. I mean, filtered na yung file mo which you will be needing. So for example, I use always PDF, no? Para hindi masyadong ganun kabigat. Baka mag-submit yung estudyante ng video and then 10 minutes video, nako, ubos na yung storage natin. So, you can just specify PDF. Kaya yung iba nagme-message, "Sir, bakit I can't upload my blah blah blah." O anong in-upload? Basa-basa pag may time. Bato-bato sa langit, matamaan ay magalit. Joke. No? So may mga ganun talaga kasi it is actually specified by the creator of the form na ang i-allow lang i-upload is only a document file, meaning Word, may mga word processing in general. You can also just specify spreadsheet like Microsoft Excel, PDF, we know that, video. We can also use image. Most of the time, when I have upload your proof of payment, I always have PDF and image. PDF and image. Bakit? You can control the storage, I mean the size, no? Minsan kasi sa sobrang laki din ng image, yung ginagawa ng estudyante, ilalagay doon sa Microsoft document para they can squeeze all in just one document. So you can use a PDF and then the image. And then you can set the maximum file size para easy for you to download. Again, baka mag-submit sila ng 10 gig na file. No? So let's just use what is suggested. And then it's either for you, you will require it or not. So this is the file upload thing. Okay. Next is, this is the part 1. And then my part 2 is the questions related to skills in the integration of IT in the classroom. So most of the time, let's say for example, if that is a quantity type of study, and that is in the form of Likert scale. That is in the form of Likert scale. Yes. So let's add. I will add a question, and then oops, I'll delete this para you will not be confused. Okay. Just make sure the one what happened a while ago is, if you notice, meron siyang naka-highlight na vertical line beside the field. That means that is the active question, no? That is the active, meaning your cursor is there. So when you click your plus sign, automatically the question will be added below that active question, just like that, no? You can actually, if you made a mistake that should not be the place there, siguro yung gagawin mo pag hindi mo alam to transfer, you will just click delete. But actually, you don't need to delete it. So say for example, I added it here, and the question is, what is the level of your skills with the following tools. Okay? With the following tools. Okay. This time, let's use, it's actually you can declare, no? It's either you can use your multiple choice or you can use your drop down. But most of the time, if that is a grid part, like you have 10 questions and then you have 4 choices or Likert choices, you always use, pag the same naman yung choices nila, always use the the grid. It's either multiple choice or the checkbox grid. No, always use that. Again, if uniform ang Likert choices, and if you have 10, let's say for example, items in that particular question, use grid rather than your multiple choice. Kasi ang mangyayari, paulit-ulit kang magsulat ng Likert choices mo. While if you will use grid, isang encode lang yung Likert choices mo. Say for example, like this. So what is the level of your skills with the following tools? So the tools are, which is for the row, the tools that I'd ask for the skill are the following. Let's say Google Form. And then MS Word. And then website. And then I can say MS spreadsheet. This is just an example. And then my Likert scales, 4 or perhaps 5. So I will say high, I will say average, I will say low. So isa lang, no? Ganun lang. That is actually a so-called multiple choice grid. But if you have different, this is the one I mentioned, if you have different choices in your Likert choices per item, then you cannot use your multiple choice grid. Another is the same concept is our checkbox grid. It's similar to the checkbox I'd mentioned here. Kaya lang, naka-checkbox, meaning the respondents can check many choices. So say for example, if you will say word, and then if you will use checkbox grid, the respondents can either check high and average and low. All of them they can check, which is not, I guess, for sure the intention that you wish to measure the skill level of your respondents. Okay? Another is the linear scale. Ito naman maganda, especially kung mga teenager or kids, and kasi pwedeng slider lang kasi siya, easy. So say for example, um, uh, what is your familiarity level? Okay? Which is, ito yung linear scale. I use linear scale and then high and then low. Remember, we have like this, the kind of questions. So that is this is what we call linear scale. So basically, ganun lang siya. If you like to ask birthday also, you can use actually the what is this? The date and the time. No? Yung iba, what is your birth date? Anong time ng ipinanganak ka? Sobra naman 'yan, no? Sige. So ganon. You can actually do that. Okay, so we're done. So we were able to check out all the different types of questions here, from short answer to multiple choice, file, linear, the grid, the date, and the time. The next is yung, okay, I will just run this, how to preview, no, so that you will see how your form looks like to the viewpoint of the students or the respondent. You can actually click preview. Click preview, and then that's how your respondents will see your form, or that's how your form will be look like on the side of the students. Okay, so you have your front page here, cover page, you have the name, this is the multiple choice grid, this is the linear, this is age, and then we have the address, and then this is the one I'd mentioned to you, and then this is what is this grid, I'm sorry, checkbox, no? So if checkbox, you can choose as many as you can, and then you have your favorite, and this is the uh drop down drop down button that we use, and then this is the upload file. Okay, so I will close this and I will go back to you because you cannot edit it here, no, being the creator of your form. I will close this, and then I will, it should be back to the editor of your survey form. Now, let's try to categorize like part one, part two. This is the portion that I was saying that talks about sectioning. We put section in our survey questionnaire. Like part one, demographic profile. Part two is the skill level question. Okay, so how to do that? Let's put a section. So how to add a section? Make sure that is sectioning. How to do sectioning is like this. Um, Make sure, I mean identify which part you'd like to add a section. So in my case, I should put a section before my name or before the field name. So look for this, add section. I will select this, make sure that this part is active, and then I will click add section. Then you will have na your untitled section. So part one, you will say demographic profile. Okay, it's either will add a description, like you will say this part will collect your demographic. Some fields are required and some are not, especially your name are not required. Depende, no? Depende on how you compose your survey questionnaire. Okay, I know that my what is the skill level is not part of my demographic. So all I have to do is to transfer this. No, I will transfer this. To transfer a particular question, you just click this one. If you will see a six dots there, no, just click that one, and then you can actually move down and position where you want it to be placed. So again, you just find that six dots like this, click, hold, and then drag. That's how to transfer. Okay, so my demographic includes the name, the familiarity, the age should be part. I will put age here. Address, I should put address here. The sex should be part in the demographics. Tools, I will include that in the other section. Favorite color, still part of the demographics. And proof of payment, still part of the demographics. I hope naka-follow. Okay. Sige, so that's part of my demographics. Again, what I was saying is look for the six dots so that you can move and transfer the question. Okay. So this is part one. And then part two. So accidentally, na-add ko si part two, section. And notice that si section 3 na insert siya immediately after the section name. So it must be wrong. So all I have to do is either move this thing, okay? Move all of this up, up, and then age should be part after name, and so with the address, and then favorite sex also should be part para ma-practice natin how to transfer. and then color should be part, and then proof of payment should be part. Okay? While my newly added section, I will title it as part 2, skill level. I have two parts already. I have part 1 and I have part 2. Okay, so that is sectioning. This is the power of sectioning here. You can find it this one. Okay, so I introduced the sectioning part. Next is, let's try to complicate a little para to make it more, what is this, we can make our data more relevant, no, when we collect, and structured, in other words. Okay, so for example, para yung age, so that we cannot accept any value in a certain duration, in a certain range of age, no, in a certain number. And then also para si respondents will not get a mistake in putting a text, okay, or will not do any typographical error in typing, or inputting. So say for example, for age, it is now considered as condition. There should be a condition set like, I will only accept age 10 years old, or 10 as a number, and let's say 60, because that is what I want in my data. So how to do that? You can do condition. Look for here, and then you look for response validation. Again, go to your age, make sure there is, I'm not sure if blue highlighted na siya, in your at your end, but there should be a vertical line. Age, and then look for first question. Sige. Sir Jules, later. That's part of my data cleaning topic. Okay, the question is, what if I created already the question and then collected and then added? Yan, no? I'm sure you have a problem of this organization kasi it will be transferred from somewhere. Okay, sige. So age, and then look for the three vertical dots. This time, the three vertical dots here. Look for look for response validation. You click on the response validation. So number, no, number greater than what? Greater than, oh, let's say for example, greater than 10, greater than 9, because I wanted to accept only 9. Okay, and then you can have your custom error. um 10 years old and above are accepted. Something like that. Meaning if the user will input, if the respondents rather will input, let's say 8, then there is a message that will appear, 10 years old and above are accepted. Okay, that is validation. What else? Validation is only applicable for short answer, I think. Yes. Let me check. Okay. Short answer and short answer and paragraph when you do the validation. Kasi this is the field where there is so much, or these are the fields that are prone to typographical entry, no, typographical mistakes or error, and then the entry of the data is wrong, that may affect also your data analysis later on. So that is why they added a validation, response validation for open-ended or for input type, no, for text-based type of answer. So that is how to do response validation. Aside from data validation, what if I have a question that is very specific only to favorite color? Um, If blue, for those who will answer blue, what shade they like. If pink, what they like. If blue, uh, if blue, what is your what what is what is help me make a question. If blue and pink. Mm, if blue, what is the name of your toy? Ay, if blue, mm, like na lang. Tapos, I will add another one. Okay. If pink, okay, okay. If pink, what colors you hate? Sample lang ha, sample lang, sample. Okay. So how to do this? So when we view this one, if you will try to view this, oh, I have the next na. Have you noticed a while ago, walang section, automatic, you can see all of the questions immediately because we did not put that into section. That is the that is the beauty if we have sections because we added, if you notice here, we already have the section. The section that will also prompt Google form what is to be visible or viewable next. No, just like this one, after the after the front or the cover page, there is a section part, and that is the view. And then when you click next, your demographic profile will be here. So for example, I will put 5 here and then go to address. This is the one that we entered a while ago. 10 years old and above are accepted. Okay, so I will put 10. That's okay. And then address, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now take a look at this. If I will add my color, I will add or choose blue. The question for blue is here. And the question of pink is also here. It's very illogical because you answered already blue. If blue and then if pink. No? In the paper base, ganun talaga mangyayari because you cannot automate that. But in the online collection or online data collection, the form, I mean the tool, can really help you structure your questionnaire para ma-minimize natin yung wrong data entry. Okay? So how to do with that? That is a so-called go-to section-based type of question, meaning we are going to add some conditions again, which is the go-to part. Okay, I will close this one and then leave. I will go back to my questionnaire. So for example, here, this is the source question or the main condition, the condition. If I will choose blue, the question should be what other colors you like. If I will choose pink, the question is what colors you hate. What you're going to do with this is you have to separate your choices, no? You have to separate your choices into sections so that our preconditions here will know where to go because just like this, look for the 3 vertical dots there here, like in my favorite color, 3 vertical dots, and then click on go to section based on answer. I'm clicking it now, and then you will see continue to next section or continue to next section. So obviously, if you will say continue to next section, the three sections are there, and there are only three sections. And if you notice, both questions, the blue and the pink, are situated inside demographic profile. This is actually section 2. You will see the number here, section 2 of 3. And this is also section 3 of 3. So what it meaning what we will do is we have to transfer these choices into a section. So how to do with that is we will add a section here, and never mind, we don't need to put a title in our section because there is only one for that. And another section also for my pink, no? Another section, I have to highlight the if blue part so that the section will be inserted in between if blue and if pink. So this is now, and if you notice, the question about blue is now under section 3, and the section about pink is now under section 4. A while ago, the skill level, which is our part 2, was section 3. Now it becomes section 5. It means that you don't actually need to care about the sectioning number because Google will just automatically or will assist you and automatically increment the section number. Okay? So, what we will do is we can point na the question. So say for example, if the user will choose blue, and the blue is under section 3. So we can say go to section 3. And pink, go to section 4. Diba? So every time when all will go to here, if blue, they will continue to section 3. So this gonna be wrong. Because if I will answer, I will view this one. I will click view, preview here, and the next, my name, my age, 34. My favorite color, take a look. If I will choose blue, okay, when I click next, if blue, what other colors you like? So black. When I click next, if pink, what colors you hate? How come? No, that we added already a condition. I will close this one and then preview again. I'll show you another instance. Bakit nagkaganon? Next, name, Dave. Uh, and then age 45, da da da, male. I will choose pink. Remember, when I choose blue, the question of blue and pink appeared. But if I will choose pink next, the question for blue did not appear, right? Which is actually correct. What happened? There is actually your sequencing in terms of your question. So what you're going to do, I will close this one, go back to your editor, because this is the reason. If the respondents will answer blue, it will go to section 3. This is section 3. Whoever at the end of this, the form editor will go to, after section 3, continue to next section. And the next section is section 4. That is why you have to change the next section. You have to change this to section 5, which will skip actually section 4. So if the respondent will choose blue, after section 3, it will go immediately to section 5. You will not do that under pink. You have to include your upload proof of payment to be outside so that it should be part in your other demographics. Okay? So you don't need to change actually for your pink because it is obvious that after section 4, which is the placement of your pink, it will proceed immediately to section 5. So that is the sectioning component. Proceed to email collection, required sign in, and respondents viewing. Okay, part of the validation, if you got the correct or the right respondents, is the email collection and signing in and reviewing, viewing section of the respondent. So how to do with that? You can go to the gear. Look for the gear settings. Again, in your editor, look for the gear setting that is before or beside send button. That's the gear settings. And then you look for collect at the general tab. You can see collect emails. No? So what is the collect emails? If you will click on it, the respondent should log in first. Okay, the respondents will log in first. That's collect emails. The other one, if your Gmail is domained with attached to a domain in your university, like for Silliman, you can restrict that all respondents should have an su.edu.ph. No, but if your survey is a public kind of data collection, you can uncheck that and then you can use collect emails. And if you wanted the entry to be unique by one individual, you can also limit it to one response. Let us all be careful here. Kaning last two button. Okay. This can be situation where our organization can be, for data privacy leak and others, no? You should not check see summary charts and text responses. Do not check that. The tendency, if you will check that, the respondents can see the responses of the others because it will summarize. No, so do not check this one. That is also to align on the data privacy and protection of our survey respondents. No? While the edit after submit, this is not also a good practice for research where you will allow your respondent to edit after submission. So do not check that also. So again, do not check unless otherwise it is very useful for you for the respondents to see the responses of the totality of the survey. Okay, so that is email collection, required sign in, and the respondents viewing. The next is on the confirmation. Most of the time also when we do survey, even in a paper base, diba, we usually have like a closing section. Like we thank you for participating, blah blah blah. If you have further information, email us at that blah blah blah. No, it is actually called confirmation. And it is nice also part of aesthetic. It is also nice to edit, not just utilize, no, not just utilize the confirmation, the default confirmation message. And where to find it, you can look at or click presentation, no? Then you can edit. So your response, that is actually the default. So you can say, thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you have further questions, please email soul@su.edu.ph and then Dave Researcher. No, para naman may kunting personalization. Kasi pag familiar si estudyante on the Google form, sasabihin ng estudyante, ay naku si ma'am, hindi man lang nag-change ng confirmation message. No, so make sure to have a personalization part in creating your survey also. So if you have further questions, something like that. Mm. Okay. And then always make it a habit also to check show progress bar. Click this one para itong show progress bar, I'll show you. I'll save this and then preview. You will see like this one, like page 2 of 5. Para alam ni respondents na gaano pa katagal siya mag-supply ng answer. No? That is the function of the show progress bar. Shuffle question order, that is only applicable if you wish to shuffle. But be careful again, baka yung question mo is supposedly not for parts of demographic profile. So therefore, don't use shuffle question order. That is only used if you only have one section of your survey instead of having two or more sections. So you can also show link to submit another response if you allow that, no, to show link to other response. In my case, I normally uncheck this one. That is to avoid students repeating, although we limit it into one, but para wala silang idea that they can actually retake it and perhaps disguise or just input another entry because there is no way for us to validate. And then you can click save. Okay, next to this is how to send this one to our respondents. No, the question is, yung ginagawa, I even receive I even receive a survey form. Ang ginagawa is select here, select here, and then copy, and then paste it on the email. So when we open it, it cannot be opened because it's the editor was sent, not the survey form. Okay? The editor was sent, not the form. So how to find the link of the editor, not your editor. How to find the form? So you just click send. The click send. There are many options, but ito na lang para hindi ma-confuse. You can click send and then just click on the link, and this is your link. Then you can copy that. No? And super haba yan. If you will copy that and paste it in Microsoft Word, if this is my Microsoft Word, that's the link and that's very long. No? Pag FB lang, or you can actually put that as a link inside the email's body. No? So you can shorten it. No? You can shorten, like it will become forms.gleriwui, but it's still difficult. What if you just wanted to text it, or you just wanted to, oh, paki fill out my form, go to blah blah blah. So still it's difficult to recall and remember. The other technique is the so-called shortening your Google question link. No? So how to do that? This is the shortening part. How to do that? So send, get the link, and then that's the form. So that is the link of my survey questionnaire. I hope everyone has tried that, especially those mga siguro I hope may bago pa for those who created na yung mga go-to section, yung mga conditions and others. Sige, so that is the sample form, but it's very long. So how to shorten it? Again, we can actually shorten using this one and then click shorten, but still it's difficult to recall. Diba? What we can do is use another tool, a shortening URL tool. Meaning, para shortened na yung URL and it's easy to recall. Para may branding na rin. Normally here in the office, we always use that para may branding, no? Para it's easy to recall. So say for example, how to do with that? I will open a new tab. Go to, ang dami but you can use I'm fan of tinyurl.com. So you can go to tinyurl.com Okay, tinyurl.com. Then, from your very long link na nakuha dito, copy mo yan, and then back to your tiny URL. You post it here, enter a long URL to make a tiny URL, paste it there, very long, and then you can make an alias na. So say for example, I can say, sa amin lahat mayroong word na soul para may branding pa rin. So soul dash, let's say crush course. Make tiny URL. So therefore, I already have, it's successful. So whether ito na siya. So I can say go to tinyurl.com/soul.crash course. So even if whichever you wish to click, that is actually the same. So again, tinyurl is a shortening, it's a link shortening tool. Were you able to follow? TinyURL is not only applicable for Google Form. You can use many websites that you can do. But because nowadays, yung mga current generation natin, they will ask, Sir, do you have the code? Do you have the QR code of your survey questionnaire? Tapos si teacher nga, ano yung QR code? Because what is the trend now is all of the sites, mga URL and everything is transposed to a QR code. Kasi si students tamad na mag-type or tamad na whatsoever, all they have to do is to just use their phone na may QR code reader, they just scan it and then automatically it will be open. Kaya kailangan i-transpose muna natin si link to a QR code. No? So how to do a QR code? Okay, so another tool na naman ito, I will open another tab and then type QR code generator. Okay, QR code generator. Ako kasi kahit ano lang, basta libre. Oh, you can use this. Oh, I think, okay? It's a QR code generator. So this is an example of QR code, quick response code. So ang gagawin ko is I will copy the long link here, copy the long link of my survey, and then back to my QR code generator, I will click URL and then enter my URL there. It's actually this one is the QR code of my survey form. I hope you got it. The QR code that is being produced or generated is actually a QR code of my Google form. So if the students will ask, paano, or they have a QR code, all you have to do is to just give that QR code and then the students will be the one to, I will try that to my phone. You can try this actually if you have a QR code reader in your phone. So if you will see, like on my screen, you will see responses and then numbers. The number there indicate how many responded your survey. No, how many responded your survey. All you have to do is you wish to look at the responses. You can just click on the responses, and if you will see the individual, and then rather you can see the summary, and then you can see the individual thing. And this is what I meant that in Google Form is good because there is an automated or a real-time visualization of the data. All you have to do is to just snip it just like this, new, and then you snip it, and then you can paste it to your Microsoft Word as part of your result. That's the one, visualization of data. Okay. But if you do statistics and if you wish to clean all those data, you cannot actually do it here. So from here, you can see no real time and then so on and so forth. What you can do is before going to the processing, let's have adding collaborators, customizing some add-ons like notifications before going to the responses. Okay. Now, I want the owner actually of this, the owner of this form is ako lang, but I wanted my colleague also to be a collaborator, meaning when they are a collaborator, they can also edit the questions here. So how to add a collaborator, meaning the one that you added here, just like in any Google Drive, every time you add, they can modify, they can edit, no? So how to add a collaborator? Sorry. Find the three vertical dots, and then you can click add collaborators. Again, find here that's below or beside your name. It's actually more, and then look for add collaborators. And then the adding collaborator na, I will add notify, meaning you will just say, hi Fred, please add questions under part one, demographic. This is what we normally do when we do collaboration with the other researchers in other parts of the in other university, no? So please add questions under part one, and then you can send that one. So when Sir Fredly, you can check on the chat box, Sir Fredly, the link, and then for sure Sir Fredly na in the questions can get in, and then he can add. So from there, Fredly can add. So anyone that you added, you have to be very careful also kasi real time, si Google Form is always real time. So when you edit, let's say for example, this one, I will delete, it's saved automatically. Have you noticed that? Saving is here. Let's say for example, na-delete mo, saving, automatic saving. So when someone edited it or deleted it, eh, wala, yun na talaga. No, we experience many times. That is why you have to be selective of who are to be a collaborator. Kasi kung especially kung tayo yung pinapagawa but meron tayong boss, don't add them as a collaborator kasi they don't usually input naman. They just give, oh ito, change this, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Viewer lang sila para hindi talaga magkamali. No? That's a lessons learned. Instead of adding as a collaborator, just add them as they can collaborate but not as editor but a viewer. No, so how to do that with not as an editor in the collaborators, instead of editor here, you can just say sorry kasi editor na, add collaborator. I will add another one. Instead of collaborator, you can just add them not here as collaborator, but you can just give them the link. Okay. uh, Here you can just give the link, and then you can restrict them, like let's say for example anyone with the link. But okay, so from here, after adding collaborator as an editor, customizing the theme. So let's say for example you wanted to have a logo, no? Because if you notice, if you will preview this, walang ka-appeal. So if you like to add a logo, let's say for example for Siliman or logo for your class or whatsoever, part naman for personalization and customization. So you can go to this one, and then you can click on customize theme. The customized theme is this part. You just click on this. This is customized theme. Click, and then you can choose an image if you like. Okay, you can change the color, turn to red or blue or anything you like. You can like the green. And then for the choose image, you should have prepared any image. So like for us, we have already a standard logo. like for office internal, or let's say for example for Seoul university logo. So you should have something like this, no, or virtual background, and then you can just put or you can choose any themes also there or photos that you like. Okay, so pwede na siya. Or I'll just use the our, say for example this one, but anyway, done. So you can, when you view it, so my logo na siya that appears here. You just have to be ready with your image, huh? And then edit it first before uploading, like in this case. Okay, that's customizing. Next is the add-ons. The add-ons, there are many add-ons, but I will only introduce two, which is the most useful in data collection when you do research. The first one is notification. Like we wanted to be notified if there are emails or there are responses or there are entries to our Google. How to do that? You look for this one. This is add-on. If you cannot find this icon in your screen, just look for at more and then add-ons. Again, just find this icon and then, or if not here, click for the more button and then click add-on. Now in the add-ons, you will be with the many add-ons. Okay, these are kumbaga apps that you have to install to your Google form. No, you can type. In my case, I already have my add-on, but you can type notification, form notification. You can use form notification, and then there are many add-ons that we can install into our browser. So let's just use, in my case, it's already installed. So find this one after typing for form notification. And then pag hindi pa siya installed, just like this, you just double click on that or click and then you install. In my case, it's already installed. After that, I will close it and then it should be in the list na. I have many in my account. I have doc appender, I have notification, I have publisher, I have form ranger, form limiter. I also have send certificate. But let's just try form notification first. Once you installed it, it should be visible under add-ons. That means that the add-on is already installed in your Google form or Google in general. So click on form notification. Form notification. Okay. No? If it will not work, always refresh. Uh, add on, click add on, and then form notification. Then the form notification dialog box will appear and then click open. So this is the form notification entry. So notify on form responses. So this is the one I'd mentioned. Notify who? So Dave Marshall. So pag may entry ng in this form, the form will automatically email to demarshall@su.edu.ph. If you want your boss or if you want your colleagues, your collaborators, you can. You can just type also there, like sol@su.edu.ph. Okay? Now, what is the action? Do you want every entry? Pag ganyan, every entry, puno talaga yung email mo. Though in my case, you can just like every 10, every 20, every 50, no? It depends on the movement of your data responses. So you can click send notifications after every 10 respondents, 20, and so on and so forth. You can also do a thank you thing, no? But it's gonna be redundant if you configure already your if you configure your, what is this, your response. But this one in the notification, what will happen is there will be an email to be sent to the respondents. I don't normally use this because if I set already my responses, remember katong confirmation email. So what is important only is notification on the form. And next to notification is I want you to find form limiter add-on. This is form limiter. Again, how to do that? Go to more and then click add-ons. It should open the add-ons and then type form limiter. Search it and then look for this one. Like in my case, this is already installed. This should be form limiter. Kindly install it to your Google because I mean Google Form because that is very very helpful. Always make it a habit to have like this, no? Para ang dami ng mga spammers right now and they just log in anytime and then input. At least there is a sort of validation of the entry of our data. So once it is installed, like in my case, I already installed it. I will close this one. I have add-ons already and I have form limiter. I will click on the form limiter, refresh again, and then form limiter. Then you will see the form limiter dialog box and click set limit. Okay, what is form limiter? So limit what? What are the type? I want only my survey to be open on a specific time. So date and time. So schedule, I want it to be open tomorrow until tomorrow my tomorrow open only until sorry, due date. It will be closed by June 1. Time 1 a.m. Set. Okay? So it will stop accepting form responses until 7:01/2021. So you are limiting it according to time. You can also do number of responses. Like because you are doing, let's say, quota sampling, automatic siyang mag-close after 100 responses. And then you can customize. No, you can customize. Thank you. Thank you for attempting to respond. This survey, this survey, this survey has just ended. Something like that. For more info and so on. Okay? And then save and enable. So date and time and the number of form responses. For spreadsheet cell value, um, hindi ko to ginagamit pa but hindi din siya activated most of the time. May konting mga bugs pa itong form limiter. So what is important lang is date and time and at the same time number of form responses. You can save and enable. Okay. Okay, my last topic under Google Form is managing responses. Okay, the responses are to be found here. Oh, by the way pala, if you don't like to use the form limiter, let's say for example, you did not set your form limiter and you realize that it should not accept responses because you have to edit it first, you can just click the slider to your left and then it will not accept the responses. So you can customize again your form. This survey is closed already. Okay, but if you wish this to be open and then That's how to do closing and opening a survey. Okay, last topic, managing the responses. So how to find our responses and how to download in a sheet. How to do that? I will close this one. Um, i- Create a spreadsheet, because if you will just what is this? If you will just be dependent from the browser, you can actually do that here. No, you can see the result. You can also see individual, just like this. All you have to do is to just click on the next so that you can see individually. But if you wish to clean, in the cycle of data processing, from data collection, you will go to the process of cleaning and filtering. So for your cleaning part, you cannot do it here. All you have to do is to create a spreadsheet. You just click on spreadsheet, click spreadsheet, and then click create. So when you click spreadsheet, automatically it will open your Google spreadsheet. Okay? It will automatically open Google spreadsheet. So again, what I did, I will close it. I will go back to my form editor. If you are at the questions, I will click responses and then look for this button. This is create. In your case, if you have not clicked this one a while ago, it should be create spreadsheet. But in my case, since I clicked it a while ago, it it will now view responses in sheet. So I can click on that. Then these are your data. These are your data from the spreadsheet. And usually your statistician, this is the one that they would like to ask. No? Hindi yung ito, sasabihin, can you give me your data? Tapos i-link ni statistician. Tapos si statistician naman hindi marunong mag-download ng spreadsheet. Ayan ang problema. No? So this is the spreadsheet. This is where you are going to process your responses. I added a question in between age and current address. No? So number of siblings. I added number of siblings, age, and uh, in between current address. If you will look at your spreadsheet now, the one that you inputted, the one that you inputted is not actually, or added, is not actually inserted in between age and current address. Instead, it is transposed to the last column. Okay? So napunta siya to the last column and still the data are organized. It's just that in terms of order, it will not follow as what is visible into your question form. Why? Because column placement of our data in spreadsheet is according to the date of addition, kung kailan mo na-add yung particular question. So it's actually in chronological order. So since we added since we only added the number of siblings at this time, so it will be placed at the end of the last column. So ang mangyayari, your previous entry, it's gonna be blank. Kahit pa you require your column, I mean your entry here, let's say required, even if you require it, still vacant siya, because obviously by the time that this respondent answered your survey form, there was no the question is not yet available. So from here, if you notice, because we are using Likert scale, it's difficult actually do basic statistics because these are words, no? So what we normally do from the spreadsheet going to a basic statistics, meaning how are we going to transpose this scale into 1, 2, 3, like average is 2 or high is 3, average is 2, and low is 1, because that's the numerical value para it's gonna be easy for us for the treatment of the data. Okay, we can actually do that inside spreadsheet, but if we are challenged with internet connect, I mean inside Google Sheet, but if we are challenged with the internet connection, what we can do is download the spreadsheet as a Microsoft Excel file. No? So how are we going to do that? Go to file, okay? Go to file and then download and then Excel. Again, in your spreadsheet, in your Google Sheet rather, go to file and then look for download and then Microsoft Excel. You click that one. So this is now the Excel sheet. It's not anymore, it's not anymore on the cloud. No? So you will only do this if your survey has ended. Otherwise, you will keep on downloading your data, which normally naman, when you process, when you clean your data, you will do that once you decided to end your survey. Okay? So once it is now downloaded, all you have to do is transpose or all the letters there, all the value into a numerical value para it's gonna be easy for us. Like if we are going to look at what is the average of the responses here. You cannot compute basic statistics here. You cannot compute mean because that is in words. So all you have to do is to transpose this into a numerical value. No? So say for example, siguro for some na hindi pa alam yung automation, siguro you will say average is equals of let's say high because this is your legend. High is equals to 3. Average is equals to 2. And then low is equals to 1. And then what you will do perhaps average equals 2 and so on and so forth, no? But what if you have 5,000 data sets, no? 5,000 data sets, 5,000 rows. And you cannot do that in just one time, no? So all you have to do is to use your find and replace function. So just like this. For example, this one, I wanted this part that will automatically all average will be changed to 3, all high will be changed to 2, and all low will be changed to 1. So how to do that? Select the area where you want your data to be transposed. After clicking that, you right click, okay? You right click, never mind the right click na lang. You can go your control F, no? Control F. Press simultaneously. Control F in your keyboard. Control F. Control F. Okay? And then the find and replace button will appear. Hala. Okay. Oops. Hold on. There. Okay, the find and replace will appear. And then you click replace. Find what? I want to find the word average. And then replace it with the word 2. Let's do this in high first and then replace with 3. And then you click replace all. Ta-da! All high are now 3. And then do the same for average. And then change to 2. Then replace all. So all now in 2. And then low equals to 1. And then replace all. Then all values now are into 2, 3, 2, or in the numerical value. Okay, so let's say for example, for blue and pink, I will assign blue as 2 and then pink as 1. So select blue to pink, all the data entry. You can actually just click it here. No? Just click it there. Control F. Find what? Find blue. Replace it. Let's say the value is 2 and then replace all. And then pink. Then replace what? 2. Okay. Let's put a comment here. How to put a comment, right? Add a comment, insert a comment. Blue is 2, pink is 1. So that later on in your analysis, you would know how to refer all your 2. That's the basic part of cleaning.